I'm back. Unintentional 2 weeks off again, but that's okay. Alright, so yeah, accidental 2 weeks off. Last week just kinda forgot that it was Tuesday, but also didn't end up watching that much, so wasn't much to talk about. Still not a lot to talk about. I didn't watch that much in this last 2 weeks compared to weeks prior. So it's going to be short either way compared to the last one, which was a mega episode. This is a 2-week mini episode, I guess. And this is Tuesday's show for the weeks of August 3rd to 16th. Would have been good if I got my stuff ready before I hit record. Wouldn't be Tuesday's show without it, though. Alright, so I saw 4 movies and 1 TV series this week. And I'll just get into it. For movies, the first movie I saw was Star Trek Beyond, the new movie and the new series that kinda went under the radar. It underperformed, got moved out of box office pretty quick when I went and saw it, which was like a week late. There was only 1 show left at the regular theater. That said, it's a really good movie. I don't know if it's better than the first. I haven't seen the '09 Star Trek in quite a while, but it's definitely on par with it. Into Darkness, I had a lot of problems with, especially with how they ended it, but if you see Beyond, it kind of ignores Into Darkness completely. So this feels like they're on the right sort of track. Like it's a more direct sequel to the first movie. Much more so than Into Darkness was, and just kind of forgets Into Darkness completely, which had a lot of bad stuff. Peter Weller was the best part about Into Darkness, but the new one, Idris Elba is a great villain. There's some cool sci-fi stuff, lots of great character moments. The effects were pretty good. I don't know, it just seemed to slide into a summer that didn't really have a whole lot of big movies. It just kind of came out and no one cared. It's weird. The next movie I saw was Dark Places, starring Charlize Theron, adaptation of the Gillian Flynn novel. I read the novel over Christmas last year, and only now got to the movie. I really liked her book Gone Girl, and a Gone Girl movie is my favorite movie of 14. So I was pretty excited when I heard about Dark Places coming out, just because I just was. That said, the novel is good, and so is the movie. They're not as good as Gone Girl, respectively. It's a pretty close adaptation. All I can really remember stuff cutting out was for time, just like, because it's a 2-hour movie compared to a 500-page book. They cut out a lot of the character stuff and condense it, but it still flows well. An interesting story. I don't know. My biggest thing with Dark Places is it has this, was introduced early on as the Kill Club, which was in the first trailer, which is talked about on the back of the book, but it's very little in it, and it's basically a group of people who become fascinated with serial murderers and stuff like that. But it's such a small portion of the story. I just kind of wished it focused more on that, because that's really interesting to me, while the rest of it is just kind of like a basic run-of-the-mill mystery. That said, still enjoyed it. Next I saw was the Peanuts movie, which came out last Christmas, and I'm only getting around to seeing now on Netflix, at least in Canada. It was flawed, but still pretty good. Its biggest flaws, which were it broke up the pacing and took way too long on the Red Baron Snoopy sequences, which was like this whole separate B-plot of the movie that just kind of took up too much of the time. That said, if you cut all those out, it would probably flow better, but then it'd also only be 60 minutes, which kind of fits into the more traditional time of like a Peanuts movie, like an hour-long special, which kind of the movie feels like, except for the animation is gorgeous. It's really unique, mixing like a 2D and 3D models together, meshing it really well and uniquely. It's really funny. It just kind of drags whenever it goes to the Red Baron part, and like I know why it's there. It's to, you know, pick up the action, get the kids interested, but it kind of drags the movie down, unfortunately. And the last movie I saw was The Princess Diaries, with Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews. A story about a high school girl who is very nerdy, is a good public speaker, very clumsy. Finds out that through her family she's actually the princess of this nation called Genovia. Yes, Genovia, the small European country, which is ran currently by the queen, who's played by Julie Andrews. And she has to make the choice of whether accepting her royal lineage or not. And it's very funny, lots of good side characters, good morals. It's a good fun watch. The only thing that kind of I wasn't into, which was, it was really only in the beginning, is it kind of expected me, the way the movie flowed, it almost expected me to already know about the side characters and what their story is and how they relate to the other people without giving them much screen time. I just kind of assumed I knew who they were. But once you do actually get to know the characters, it makes sense. It just kind of starts you off with not all the information. And then the TV series I spent most of my week watching was Clone High, which if anyone's watched Hardly Working Hippies videos before knows I'm a fan.
Jason,
Yes,
do you
John?
ever think...
Why are we here?
No. No, I never think that. That's fucking dumb.
Oh.
Contemplating my own existence in this rock? Exploding through space? Nah. Why do I need that? Do you ever think, what if Clone High had a second season?
Yeah, I knew it. Yes, constantly.
Mm-hmm.
It's also been practically a year since I last watched it. It's just really funny, witty humor, unique, well animated, creative design, creative storytelling. I'm a sucker for history jokes and like historical character jokes, and that's all that the show is. Basically, it's this high school, it's a cartoon, and it's this high school that is made up of all these clones of famous people in history. So like the main characters are teenage versions of Abraham Lincoln, Joan of Arc, JFK, Gandhi, Cleopatra, that sort of thing. And it's just funny, and the characters are really well written and have a lot of heart to them. The only, it's not really a downside, because I see why it's there, and I don't necessarily begrudge it, but it's something I do kind of look as the downside, is that it can be overly gory at times, which is weird coming from me, since I like horror movies and lots of gore most of the time. It just kind of changes the tone whenever it's overly gory, but there's only a couple episodes it happens, like the Christmas episode and the mascot basketball episode are really the ones I can think of the most. Other than that, it's pretty non-gory, I guess. But it kind of surprises you when it can be that gory. It's done by the people who later went on to do 22 Jump Street and the Lego Movie, and also the guy who created Scrubs and Cougar Town. Kruger Town with Freddy Krueger. But yeah, it's a really good show. I really like it. Thanks for checking it out this Tuesday show. There's Hardly Working Hippies plays It's not quite their actual title, but they exist, and they're there for your viewing. There's the Screenplay Sidekicks podcast, which is going to be late this week, but it exists. And there's more on our YouTube. Last week's Tuesday's show. I gotta figure some sort of template for my outro.